War. War never changes. It makes the old hungry for power, the young crave for glory. You know what? Just kidding. Let's have some fun.
Ew, yeah. Here's a picture. Hear me out, hear me out. I'm going for it. Can you die?
And just like that, Battlefield 1 Prologue changes the rules. Battlefield 1 Prologue isn't about glory, power or kill streaks. This is a eulogy. And in this video we'll explore how Battlefield 1 Prologue makes war feel personal to the player, delivering one of the most human openings in video game history. In most first-person shooter games, the loop is rather simple. You shoot, win, survive, and repeat. It's a power fantasy for the players, designed to reward control and progression. But Battlefield 1 Prologue breaks that loop, and the player notices it, because they are not meant to survive.
We came from all over the world, so many of us thinking this war would be our rite of passage, our great adventure. Let me tell you, it was no adventure.
It's not a reward loop. No, it's a mortality loop. Survive briefly, you die, then be replaced. In this mortality loop, players don't feel rewarded at all. But this mortality loop from design standpoint does two key things. First, it lowers the player down. Without the traditional feedback loop, the pacing changes. The player becomes more cautious, reflective, and the players stop playing to dominate but start to play to endure the horrors of war. Kill counts doesn't matter anymore. What matters is how many minutes you will survive. Second, it reframes your mindset. Most shooters build identity through persistence. Battlefield 1 Prologue removes that. So when every life is temporary, the player is no longer the hero. They are more like a witness what is happening around. But there is more to this mortality loop. Because when the player sees the fragility in human lives, of many lives, for instance, I felt empathy for these soldiers in this war.
They push. We push. Every once in a while, we push hard enough that the light breaks through the clouds. And a world beyond the war glimmers, just out of reach.
And it made me connect to these young men. This is not by accident. It's a system design that evokes empathy through repetition. And this makes the player experience feel more personal. So by making the death inevitable, Battlefield 1 Prologue doesn't just simulate war, it simulates what it means to be one life among many. And through that loop, it doesn't just put you in someone's shoes, it reminds you those shoes can be taken away at any moment.
No! No!
He never got older. And here I am, still.
In most stories, especially in games, the emotional connection is built through character identity. We follow the protagonist with backstories, personalities, and character arcs. And that's how we're taught to care, by investing in someone's journey. But in Battlefield 1 Prologue, that bond never forms with one soldier. The moment you start to feel grounded, the character is gone. And you're dropped into the life and death of someone else's soldiers. There's no backstory, no dialogue, no personality. Just a weapon, a uniform, and a brief, brutal moment. The game withholds personal identity to shift the player focus away from the individuals and toward the collective cost of war. By removing a central identity, the game pulls the players away from the fantasy of "I am the hero", and instead it gives the players brief glimpses of young men who didn't get a story arc. The players are not meant to connect to one life, but meant to feel the weight of losing all of them. And the lack of identity doesn't make them less real, it makes it more universal. And this paradoxical design choice makes not the player feel bonded to only one soldier, but actually feel bonded to all of the soldiers.
This is all over and the war is won.
Bonded to humanity. And in the end makes players feel even more connected to the game, making it more personal. So the prologue gives the player a bird's-eye perspective of the war, showing that no one is guaranteed to survive. But after that, you're given the perspective of 3 individual characters, each with their own story. Their struggles feels massive from their point of view. Every decision feels like life or death situation. But after the player seeing the larger context from the prologue, we the players understand. Their story is small in the bigger picture, and yet it still matters. To them and to us, because we are in their shoes, and their stories are big and small at the same time. What makes the design choice in Prologue even stronger is the illusion of threat it provides to the rest of the game. This makes the player feel like the main characters could die at any moment, and this triggers an emotion in players, a hope that these characters will survive. And hope is one of the best emotions that keeps the people going forward. It makes the player continues the story, hoping that the soldier will survive this war,
Are you all right?
hence keeping the player's
for you to
engagement
pee.
in check.
You looked very handsome in that uniform.
That's not me, that's Matteo.
Oh, of course. I'm sorry, Dad. Take as long as you need.
No, it's okay, Tesoro. It's time I told you what happened to him. It was during our last battle together, just a few days after our 21st birthday.
This feeling of hope is designed to the gameplay and narrative in order to give the player a reason to stay engaged, make decisions carefully, and in the end keep playing, and to see if the main character survived or not the horror of wars.
Good kid.
In the end, Battlefield 1 doesn't ask you to win,
But behind every gun sight is a human being. We are those people.
it asks the
We
player
are the jaded,
to remember.
and we are the naive. We are the honorable and the criminal. We are the bound for legend and the lost to history. We are the knights of the sky, the ghosts in the desert, and the rats in the mud.